because I think in certain places it's very effective, union. But I think in certain places it can be a disruptor as well, where it causes the business to say, you know, Sean, you're pushing me so much where you're not thinking about.
I don't agree with that. I don't.
I know you don't agree with that. But what I'm saying to you is so do you think 1099 should exist at all?
There shouldn't. No, there should be no 1099.
There should be no 1099.
No, why?
Are you kidding me?
Well, let me ask you something. You're 1099.
Wow, okay.
You're 1099, right?
So how does that work in real estate?
Well, you got all these. Look at real estate. Perfect example. Look at, by the time a real estate agent gets paid after you're paying up or everybody's taking their fee, what are they actually doing? Or what are they getting? I mean, your average person that works for Century 21 or whatever, you don't think they would benefit from having continuity, having known exactly what they were going to make? I mean, I get the 1099 argument, and this is just my opinion. I think if I'm working, providing a service, I should be getting paid by an employer.
Yeah, then what if a business owner, so then put the argument into a small business owner. I open up a small market, liquor store, okay? Should I be guaranteed a salary by the government as well?
I don't understand what you mean.
Okay, so exactly. So what I'm saying is, like, if you're saying a 1099 realtor puts 60 hours a week for a year, he sells 3 properties, and let's just say he makes $38,000 first year.
Mm-hmm.
Second year, he puts 80 hours a week, works nonstop for the year, makes $220 second year. Third year, he goes, does the same thing, makes $500,000, 1099, not W-2. So he's making whatever he's making. Another guy that's there is kind of lollygagging, doesn't make the calls, doesn't drive as much as he wants, you know, and he doesn't make it in real estate. He's filtered out, goes to a different business, and ends up becoming an employee, not a 1099. I don't think 1099 is for everybody. Business owner. So what is the risk to a business owner? Who has more risk, the business owner or the W-2? The business owner or the 1099. What is the guarantee for the business owner? It doesn't exist.
Well, he can negotiate. Everything's negotiable. I mean,
not for the business owner.
Well, the business owner, I mean, if I'll tell you this, it's funny. A lot of these business owners and small businesses, we deal with a lot of small businesses all over the country, and we recognize, you know, I think there's a misconception in society that we come in there and we want to hurt businesses. That's furthest from the truth. We actually want to help grow businesses.
I think that exists, though.
No, not really. It's, you got a lot of greedy employers that say when you're chipping into their profits, they take it so personal. Like, why are you coming after me? And 9 out of 10 times, and this is the truth, we don't solicit people to join the union. We wait for people to come to us saying, I'm having a problem with my employer. They're making all this money. They're treating us horrible. That's when we'll go and get involved. So, you know, people can say whatever they want. They can have their narrative, but unions built this country. Unions are responsible for the bridges, the roads, all the infrastructure. And, you know, it's proven, and there's statistics out there, that union jobs are more productive than non-union. Union jobs are more safe than non-union. And more importantly, union jobs have better productivity than non-union. So there's a lot of value there. When people push back so hard, like the Amazons of the world, and, you know.
I'm not talking about Amazon.
No, but I'm saying, I'm using that as an example.
Right.
There's a reason why they're pushing back. They do not want to lose control. They do not want to have their workers they don't want their workers to have a voice. They want to be able to dictate how people act. They want to control them. And they employ by fear. They employ by fear. If you don't do this, you're fired. If you don't do this, you're suspended. You know, when you have a union contract, you have just cause language. You have grievance and arbitration, dispute resolution.
Why do you think the employee takes the job, though? If it's so bad, why do so many people want to work
Some people have
there?
no choice. You know, Amazon, you know, they focus on distressed communities.
Can't they go work for UPS instead? Because you guys, in the argument, you guys took the salary from 145 to 170, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also challenge UPS to hire an additional 22,000, right? I think that's the number. If I'm mistaken,
yeah. So there's the 22,000 is jobs that will, you know, people that retire or leave. They have a commitment to fill 22,000 of those jobs. But we also negotiate.
Not new. It's to refill.
So you maintain. But we also created 7,500 new jobs in the last year of the contract by combining 2 part-time jobs into 1 full-time job. So, you know, anybody that's a part-time will have the ability to secure one of those jobs.
So you count, if I have 10 part-timers, you count that as 5 employees, 5 full-time.
Right.
Would that count it that way? Like,
right,
okay.
yeah.
So go back to where I'm going with this, because you sound like the part that makes you interesting is, I'll tell you what my biggest concern is, and we can come back to this, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this, because I want to know what leaks business owners have that they should be thinking about. And that is, you're seeing the price of home going like this, right? But the income is not increasing at the pace. And there is a disparity on what's causing this. Is it the fact that we went off the gold standard and the wealthy was able to print money the way they were, and it's easy to make money because you have access to a lot of debt? Is it that fact that we became a debt society, so the rich kept getting richer and richer and richer, and they're able to buy up a bunch of properties, and maybe it makes it tougher for a middle America guy? I'm a guy that my dad was a 99-cent store cashier. So you see that. I joined the Army. I was going to do 20 years in the Army, and then I got out. I was going to be a bodybuilder. Then I got introduced to a girl who worked at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter. I went into the finance business. Then I went into the business. Then I made money. Then I made real money. Then I made real money, right, in the business. But for me, a part of this, when we're going back to the union side, the small business owner, stay on that one for me. If you're saying W-2 should be protected by union, fine, because I know 10% of the workforce in America is union, if I'm not mistaken, some number like that. 1099, okay, you have an argument. I have my own argument why I think 1099 needs to kind of be left alone. Some places there's abuse with 1099. I don't think everywhere. But if you want to protect the 1099 and the W-2, but the business owner that takes money off their mortgage to start a business, or takes all their money out of their 401k and they pay the additional early distribution fees and all that other stuff, they risk it all. They work 7 days a week for 5 years to make that business work for no guarantee. What protection do they have? Isn't that the hardest thing to do in America?
Look, I think there's risk versus reward with everything we do. And that small business that takes a risk, kudos to them, and it's great. The last thing you want to do is hurt a small business, and I understand that. But, the reality of it is, the 1099 has a lot of flaws in that, because there's a lot of wage and hour violations. There's a lot of taxes that aren't being paid back to the states and the federal government. So although it might sound great because, hey, I remortgaged my house, started this small business, I'm 1099ing people, I'm avoiding taxes. There's a lot of accounting problems with that as well. And I'm not saying that, people, that start a small business, we don't want to see them lose it. I mean, we represent a lot of small businesses. We partner up with a lot of small businesses. We know what they can afford. We know what they can't afford, and that's all negotiations. But some people just, want to bastardize the system, and the system's broken right now. I mean, look at all these corporations that file bankruptcy, right? They'll file bankruptcy, and bankruptcy reform hasn't been touched in 30 years. Like for us, you have companies that borrow a lot of money, right? And all of a sudden, like Yellow Freight, for instance, 22,000 Teamsters. We gave back $5 billion in concessions from 2009 all the way up till they shut the doors. They were into Apollo for $600 million, right? The private equity firm. The government gave them a $700 million loan under the first Trump administration as a defense contractor. And prior to them shutting the doors, they gouged, all the big wigs gouged all their money, they took their bonuses, and then filed bankruptcy. And those workers, my members that work there, because the bankruptcy is so convoluted and pro-employer, that we're still fighting today to get pension contributions, to get, paid time that's owed to our members. The laws are so antiquated and corporate friendly that we're the last line in creditors. So, when we talk about small businesses, we talk about 1099, we've got to talk about corporate America as well as being deceitful and taking advantage of antiquated systems.
I fully agree on the part that we used to have pension plans. We used to have a lot of retirement plans for companies. And Fortune did a story about 23 years ago about the fact that we went from having God knows how many. Rob, can you pull up the number of pension plans by year? The amount that declined is massive. And there was a story in 2003, 2004 about what United Airlines did with their pension plan. Catastrophic to the people that were working there. So part of me, and by the way,
we represent 10,000 of those mechanics at United.
Oh, okay. And again, I I believe there is abuse in certain areas. Go up a little bit, Rob. Could you go a little bit up to see what it says right there? Shoko in 2022. Yeah, I want to know the data of where was that. So I think a part of what you're saying is true, where some guys are abused. Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.